make this as painless and fast as I can. I'm the last thing between you and your driver flight home, as well as the box lunch that's outside waiting for you. The first thing I want to do is thank the two heroes that may not be known to you as the ones who really drive and make this workshop possible. And those are Bill Lee, who just left, who's the chair of our marketing working group and is our new treasurer, as I think you know, and also Paul Grun. Paul has no right to be as good at this kind of stuff as he is, given what he is in the world of technology. It's just completely unfair. But he's been the guy who came up with the idea of reaching out for presentations. You know, it's just been one thing after the other he's come up with. So many thanks, Paul, for what you've done. We have a lot to do, and this is the best kind of guidance we could possibly hope for from this group. We have to do something, we aren't quite sure what, around how to create a non-promoter role in helping to guide the OFA. I mentioned that during the National Labs Forum report. We're absolutely committed to doing this. We aren't quite sure how to do it, but we absolutely do commit to finding a solution of some sort. We also now understand very clearly we have to work to encourage the development of the Linux developer community, by which I mean find ways for the OFA to support this activity and not sort of impose ourselves on it. So if there are ways that we can facilitate these kinds of discussions, we absolutely must do that. Again, we have to figure out what this means from a charter standpoint and so on, but this is just OFA processes and procedures. It's not important. What matters is a lot of us are finally understanding how difficult it is to get some of the stuff done within the developer community that has to be done, and we want to do all we can from an Open Fabric standpoint to encourage this. I was also impressed by some of the developments we learned about this week, the new Oracle HCA and the suggestion that there'll be other Oracle hardware devices, the Mellanox router. It's really interesting developments. Coming out of the National Labs Forum, we got guidance basically along the lines of test the router and then figure out what to do to see if there is further work. I think it is interesting that we have, in at least a couple of cases, potentially hardware in advance of specifications. I'm not quite sure what that means from an interop testing standpoint, but it certainly raises some questions worth thinking about. And also, I think Frank Berry and Paul Grun made their need for your help and support in the areas that they volunteered to step up to very clear. I was also really pleased that we had first-time participation, as best I can recall, from the likes of SAP, CERN, Eurux, and Simula. I think that's a direct consequence of what Paul had us do this year in reaching out as broadly as we did. Every year we have to ask ourselves the same question: should we come back to Monterey or should we do something different? We haven't made a decision. If anyone here has a strong opinion, you're welcome to speak up now or send your thoughts to me or to Bill Lee. We're probably leaning towards coming back to Monterey again, but it's by no means in stone. I think you all know we were in Sonoma for a number of years, and then we came to Monterey, and we've been here since. But it's a question we feel like we have to ask ourselves every year. We have gotten very clear advice that we're just doing too much. We need to have shorter days, probably 9 to 5 rather than 8 to 6. We are still very committed to having BOFs and so on during the course of the workshop. I think they've turned out to be very valuable, but we've gotten the message that we're just beating you up a little bit too badly. I guess I'd just like to ask about everything else. Was the food okay, the venue, the location? Any complaints at all? We take this very seriously. Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up, thank you. There will be a survey coming out, we believe, early part of next week, which we'd like you to fill out as objectively and critically as you can so we can learn from that. The presentations are on the website. The videos will be posted just as fast as we can get to them. And I think that's pretty much it. Are there any? Yep, Bill, go ahead.
If I can make one comment about the feedback. Every year we try to improve upon what we've done over the previous years. A lot of people have mentioned that this has been a very well-run workshop. A lot of what we did this time was based on feedback from previous years, and so if you see any area of improvement, let us know, and we'll make next year's even better.
Okay, with that, let me offer my profound thanks for you to having come to the workshop. It was very enjoyable, and I sincerely hope I see as many of you as possible next year.
Take this opportunity to ask the people in the room that one thing that's been talked about, this combination of the developer part and the user day part, which we tried this year. Is there an interest in this room in a multi-track kind of an environment, or does everyone in the room feel like everything that's being said is relevant to everybody all at the same time? I'm just interested in people's perceptions about that. What do people think about multi-tracks? Great idea or terrible idea? Everybody in the room thinks that everything is relevant to everybody all at the same time, roughly? Okay, great.
Okay, well, with that, thanks again, and I really hope to see you next year.